A big breakdown by the Mexican peso today highlights just how much presidential politics may have on trading within North American currencies over the next couple of months. Looking at this chart of the US dollar against the Mexican peso, we have swings upward are when the US dollar is outperforming and the peso is weakening. Swings downward are when the Mexican peso is appreciating and the US dollar is weakening. And what have we seen over the last year is that we've seen quite a bit of ties between this and the election. I'm comparing it here, this green and red line, which is the US dollar Mexican, and this purple line is the Canadian dollar versus the Mexican peso. The reason is there's two things that really could drive trading in the peso. First is the oil price, but that also shows up in the Canadian dollar. Second is the presidential election. Why is this important? Because Donald Trump has been going around basically threatening the Mexican economy in a lot of ways, threatening to tear up trade agreements, threatening to build a wall between the United States and Mexico. So certainly a Trump victory in the presidential election would be seen as a negative for Mexico, and that's what we've been seeing in the stock market. First rally in the dollar against the peso was back at the end of last year, between November and February, when people started to realize Trump wasn't just a flash in the pan; he was a serious candidate. When the primaries dragged on for a while, we had a correction backwards. Then, as the end of the primaries approached, the opposition dropped out and it became clear that Trump really was going to become the Republican candidate. We had the peso weaken again. It's been generally steady through the summer, and as we can see, so has the Canadian dollar. But recently, we've seen this start to accelerate once again. This pink line here, by the way, is the US dollar index, the most recent contract. And I wanted to show this because today we've got a big breakdown in the peso. Why? At the September 11th memorial yesterday, there was a Hillary Clinton had some health issues. She looked like she was about to faint and had to be helped into a car by some supporters and Secret Service people. So this has raised questions about Hillary Clinton's health that potentially could be seen as favorable for Trump, and because of that, we're seeing and potentially something like that could tip the balance in the election. So because of that, we've generally seen the peso weaken dramatically today. It's been weakening anyways, really, for the last month or so, because if you listen to people along the way, Hillary Clinton should be winning by 20 points right now, not the small margin that she's actually leading. So in a lot of ways, as we've seen over the last month or so, the tide start to turn back towards Trump. We have seen this weakening once again. Today we've got a breakout. We had through the summer where it was trading between 18 and 19. It's now broken out up over 19 today. It's not all oil driven because the Canadian dollar has failed to keep pace to the US dollar. So clearly there is an election impact here. Initial resistance here is around 1925, then around 1950, then the 20 round number. But this starts to pick up. If we do see the election momentum continue to shift towards Trump, then this could continue to rise. If Hillary Clinton comes back and things start to shift back her favor again, this could roll back over. Later in the month, we do have a few things coming up that could have an impact on the race. We have the Fed meeting next week that could give an indication of which way the U.S. economy is heading. Does that give a case for Trump that things need to be fixed, or does it support the Democrats and their feeling that their U.S. economy is doing well under their watch? Later in the month, also we get the presidential and the vice presidential debates kick in. We could see significant swings in this pair around that, and really significant swings in this pair right through and after the election, depending on how things go and who wins.